Are you a fan of racing drivers? Do you take an interest in controversies of sports persons? If yes, then hang on to this video. Hello and welcome back to Formula One Zone. Today, we'll be telling you about why Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton hate each other. Watch this video to the end and also like and share without fail. Also, for more amazing videos, subscribe to our channel Formula One Zone. So now, let us begin. Are you ready? About Max Verstappen. Maximilian Verstappen stepped into the world in 1997. He's a Belgian Dutch and a racing driver. He's also the 2020 Formula One Global Champion. In the Australian Grand Prix of 2015, when Max was 17 years and 5 months old, he happened to be the youngest driver for competing in Formula One. When he was 18 years old, he achieved the Spanish Grand Prix 2016 on his entry for Red Bull Racing, becoming the youngest driver and the very first Dutch driver for winning a Formula One Grand Prix. Isn't that crazy? He completed the 2019 and 2020 championships in the third position. According to the 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, Max Verstappen has gained 19 more achievements, involving the first driver since 2006 powered by Honda. Wow! In 2010, Max reached out to International Karting. The CRG signed him for racing in their factory team at global and European championships. The first experience of Max Verstappen in a racing car on the 11th of October 2013 was at the Pembrey circuit. He drove 160 laps in a FR 2.0 10 Barresi Epsilon Formula Renault car. There was an announcement made on 16th of January 2014 that Max Verstappen would make his racing entry in the Florida Winter Series. Isn't that awesome? Max Verstappen's childhood. Max Verstappen's parents decided to get separated when he was young. After that, he stayed with his father, whereas his little sister, Victoria, stayed with their mother. His family carries a lengthy association with motorsports. Max Verstappen said in the year 2015 that he actually just lived in Belgium for sleeping, but in the daytime he went to the Netherlands and he had his friends there too. He was raised as a Dutch person, and that's how he feels. He started his karting when he was 4 years old. About Lewis Hamilton. Sir Lewis Carl Davidson Hamilton took birth in the year 1985. He is a British racing driver. In Formula One, Lewis has achieved championship titles of a joint record 7 world drivers and holds the record for most winnings, positions of pole and podium finishes, among others. He has 7 championships and 103 wins to his name. That's crazy! Born and brought up in Stevenage, Hertfordshire, Lewis joined the program of McLaren Young Driver in the year 1998. This resulted in a Formula One drive in 2007 with McLaren, making Hamilton the first, and till now, the only black driver for racing in the series. Isn't that so special, being the only one? The next season, he was the winner of his maiden title in a dramatic fashion, doing a serious overtake on the last race's ending lap of the season. After additional 4 years with McLaren, Lewis Hamilton signed in 2013 with Mercedes. Lewis has been credited by appealing to a larger audience outside the sport, in section because of his lifestyle of high-profile social activism, environmental activism, and exploits in fashion and music. Hamilton has also happened to be a prominent advocate supporting activism to combat racism and go forward for more diversity in motorsport. He was on the list of the 2020 issue of Time, being amongst the 100 most influential people all over the world, and was knighted in the New Year's Honours 2021. Each one of you would agree that Hamilton is an all-rounder. Lewis Hamilton's childhood. Lewis turns out to be mixed race. His parents separated when his age was 2 years, after which he continued living with his mother and elder half-sisters Samantha and Nicola. When Hamilton turned 12, he went to his father, stepmother Linda, and his stepbrothers Nicholas, who is a professional racing driver too. Hamilton was brought up as a Catholic. Hamilton was subjected to racist abuse because he was the only black child racing at his club. Hamilton's father purchased a go-kart for Christmas when Lewis was 6 and promised for supporting his racing career, but only till he did hard work at school. For giving support to his son, Lewis's father took redundancy from his post as an IT manager. He decided to be a contractor, sometimes handling over 4 jobs simultaneously while still attending his child's races. What a father he is! He later started his own company of information technology. He continued to be the manager of Hamilton till initial 2010. Hamilton took up karate when he was 5 years old for defending himself from bullying at school. Apart from racing, he played association football for his team of school. Hamilton once said that if Formula One hadn't worked out for him, then he must have been a cricketer or a footballer, having contributed for both his school teams. Michael Schumacher, in the year 2001, speaking about Hamilton, said that he is a very strong and quality driver. If he keeps going on in the same way, then I am sure that he will reach F1. It's something special to watch a child of his age out on circuit. He has got the correct racing mentality, ultimately. Disliking each other. A furious fight more intense than the championship has seen in many years arose from one of Formula One's most remarkable seasons, and as the collisions between Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton mounted, it was evident that their relationship was deteriorating, with Verstappen even saying on the evening of the season finale that this year has affected his opinion of Mercedes and Hamilton. However, by the time the title was decided, things had already begun to soften. Both agreed that they occasionally disliked each other, but said it was fine, as if they really cared. Haha. They said that it is both of their competitive natures. The word hate is a strong one, but given the gravity of 2021's flashpoints and the stakes, it's hardly surprising that their emotions for each other stayed into that zone at times, especially when it was at most explosive. These two crammed multiple seasons worth of tales into 9 months. In the first few races, we only saw a polite, hardcore phase until things started to degrade. The Silverstones clash, their massive, most controversial clash of the season, was a spark that set things off in the correct direction. The place where they collided numerous times and also collided after Verstappen brake-tested Hamilton, Saudi Arabia, was the pinnacle of both of their feuds, undoubtedly. But a collision was seen in Abu Dhabi between both of them. The primary narrative was a contentious finish as Verstappen showed an aggressive first-lap drive and Hamilton slipped past in the runoff to remain in the lead. To say the least, towards the end of the season, it was evident that their own on-track behaviour was being influenced by a loss of respect for one another. We do not know what Hamilton's views are for his season-long rival because he didn't say much after Abu Dhabi. All we have to look at is his attitude of Hamilton throughout the year to make a decision. With the occasional goading remark and some more passionate statements in the heat of the moment, especially when he believed Hamilton had mistreated him, he was typically respectful. None of this, however, suggests Hamilton has lost all respect towards Verstappen. There is no proof that Hamilton had a terrible connection with Verstappen like he did with Nico Rosberg when at Mercedes, especially when, in one of his post-race press conference, Hamilton was ready to applaud Verstappen even though he had lost the race in dubious circumstances. When there's so much on the line and the stakes are so high, every emotion becomes amplified. It was almost as if they were embarrassed by how far things had progressed. Neither of them wanted to add to the fire. More importantly, after everything was spoken and done, both drivers could shake hands. The one who lost congratulated the one who won, and both sides have subsequently acknowledged their roles in a historic season. While this struggle has had the potential to produce hatred at its apex, it also has the potential to sow the seeds of eternal respect. However, in the coming weeks, months and years, even the emotions of what happened there will vanish, and more than likely the admiration between Hamilton and Verstappen will only grow as they reflect on the historic struggle they fought. Thank you so much for watching and staying throughout. As we have reached the end of this video, let us know in the comments below about your views on Hamilton and Verstappen's hate for each other. Until next time, goodbye, stay safe.